Hi guys, Jimmy here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody's doing well, staying safe and enjoying the weekend. So I got a surprise package in the post. I knew it was coming, but there was a little surprise on it too. And Alan over at AJ's Movie Place very kindly sent me some Blu-rays. He texted me a few days back and said, would I be interested in these? And I was like, for sure, AJ, if no one else wants them, please. Yeah, I will definitely have some of those movies. And when it arrived, there was a bit of a name change, shall we say. So, and there's a little bit of story behind that name change. So on here is the postage label, and I think you can see on the bottom who it's to. Jimmy the Bastard. So before I open this, let me just tell you the brief history of Jimmy the Bastard. So a few weeks back, I went to see my nieces in Bournemouth. And I said to them, what would you like to do one day? And they said, oh, you know what, Uncle, can we go and see a movie? Because when they come to see me here, I let them choose a film, age-appropriate film. And they said, we want to see Super Mario. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what, have you ever seen a 3D film? They said, no. So I said, right, we'll go down to the 3D cinema in Bournemouth. I think it's the Odeon one. And I got a bit of a shock because it was £20 a ticket. And not only was it £20 a ticket, you had to buy the 3D glasses for £1.75 each. So I was a little bit shocked. So I was telling the guys how much it cost. And I was like, look, for spending the best part of £70 on 3 tickets, when we go in there, I'm going to tell my nieces to grab any posters or any freebies. All right. And if they're all the same one, just grab 1 each or 2 each and I'll grab the same. So anyway, there was a little bit of an exchange between me, Alan and Matt. And so, I said to them, oh my God, I just booked 3 tickets for Super Mario, £60. That's crazy. Matt says, yeah, not cheap. And I said, the kids' tickets were the same price as mine and we haven't got any food yet. Matt said, take your own popcorn. I said, yeah, the girl said to do that. That's where the cinema makes their money. And I said, if they have posters, I'm taking loads of them. Right? And then Alan turns around and says, poor kids coming in after you. What about them? They'll go without. And I said, that's their problem. And then Matt says, poster scalper. And then Alan sent me a message of iced tea saying, that's nasty. And then I said, I'm going to tell my nieces to grab what they can get. And then I turn around and so I say to them, going to tell my nieces what to grab. And I said, Jimmy the Bastard, as I will be known now. And then Alan turns around and says, Jimmy the Bastard has a ring to it. So that's why he put that on the label. And I must say, when I got it delivered, the postman was very confused. Thank goodness it wasn't the normal post woman who normally comes there. When I showed my wife, she said, what's that now? And I said, oh, it's a parcel from Alan. And she went, oh. And I went, and then she looked at the label and she looked at it and she went, what? And she was just confused by it all. And she went, what will the postman think? And I said, I think I've upset you and you've sent me a piece of mail, hate mail. So that is where Jimmy the Bastard comes from. Now, let's go into this box here that Alan kindly sent me. It says, time to get a new razor blade, Jimmy. Time to get a new razor blade. Oh, he's put more in there than what I was expecting. Oh, bloody hell, he has actually. He's put more in there than what I was expecting. So, what he has sent me... Oh, I didn't know I was getting this actually, which was Mini Mates, and this is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that's really nice. Nice couple of little figures there that I've got. Yeah, so I think I've got some of these. These look familiar. I haven't got these two, but I think I've got some of these. I'm going to have to go and dig them out. But yes, I wasn't expecting that one. So yeah, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that's handy. That's nice. That'll go somewhere in my collection. And then he sent me some movies, but he sent me more than what I was expecting actually. So first up is Serenity, a film which I haven't seen, I don't think. So this is the Blu-ray version of it. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching this. I know that guy in it, he's in that TV series now, The Rookie. So I'm looking forward to this one. I'm sure I haven't seen Serenity. Then he sent me A Most Violent Year. Oscar Isaac's in this one. And I don't think I've seen this one. I wasn't expecting these two. I'm sure I wasn't expecting these two. But he did kindly, and he asked me, let me just get this right. Yeah. He did kindly send me Speed Racer. So there's a new 4K of that coming out. I've never seen the film. I've always liked the cover to it. So I'm looking forward to watching this. So AJ sent me that. He sent me The Day After Tomorrow as well, which I think I had on DVD, but I gave it away when I moved house. I've got to do that vlog soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing that because I haven't seen that in years. Then he also sent me, and I wasn't expecting this one, Dracula Untold. So yeah, I didn't know about Dracula Untold actually. There's a little leaflet in there. So that's, yeah, I've not seen this one. The legend is born. The year is 1462. Transylvania enjoys peace under the rule of Vlad III. Luke Evans. Right, so I look forward to that. But then my favourite one that he asked me did I want, and I said yes, I will have that because I gave that DVD away, and that is the classic Zombievers. Yes, Zombievers. What a film this is. So I actually watched this film with my wife one night. I can't remember where we were, but I brought it and we couldn't find anything to watch. And I said, look, I've got a horror film I really, really want to watch. I said, but it's not like a normal zombie horror, well, sort of zombie horror film, but not the normal one with people running around. And she was like, oh, I'll put it on because I'm going to go to bed soon. So I said, okay, you're right. And she went, yeah, okay then. So I went out and got the film. And I come back in and she went, can I see the case so I can read about it? And then she read, it was Zombievers, and she turned around and said to me, can't you just wait until I go to bed to watch to watch porn like that? And I said, it's not, it's a zombie film about beavers who become zombies. Sorry, it's just when she said that to me, it made me lose my concentration at night. So yeah, so we sat down and she actually watched it all, and she was relatively impressed by it. And I said, it's only a 15. What are you going to see in a 15? But she said, yeah, can't you wait until I go to bed watch porn? Oh my God, it's so funny. Oh my dears days. Anyway, you got to laugh. You got to laugh. So AJ, really, thank you so much. I wasn't expecting these 5 movies. And I wasn't expecting these mini-mates as well, which sound like a prophylactic. But I really do like these little minifigures. I'm sure I've got some of them somewhere. I think they're in the shed actually, or the garage rather. I'm going to have to go and have a look at them. But I am looking forward to A Most Violent Year and Serenity and Speed Racer, because I've heard about Speed Racer and I never got around to watching it. Day After Tomorrow, classic, you know. It's good that they still sort of like make disaster films like this. Dracula Untold, I know nothing about, so I'm looking forward to that one. And maybe the classic Zombievers will be tonight's viewing because I'm not getting sidetracked by anything else. But AJ, listen, thank you so much. Thanks for the label. My wife was very impressed with the label. Anyway, listen, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. Take care. AJ, top man. And yeah, I will catch you guys real soon on my next vlog.